All right, y'all. I thought I would come back real quick because honestly, y'all can sit around and let Mike ruin y'all lives and y'all weekend. I refuse to do it. That's sad that that dude is just bringing up all this weird stuff. Like that's all he ever does. If it's not him uh telling his made up lie about Tiffany, he's talking about eating poop or talking about drinking urine and talking about incest. I mean, nobody nobody wants to hear about or talk about that disgusting shit, especially around Valentine's Day. All of us have normal sexual hormones. I couldn't believe he had the audacity to be up screaming and hollering, trying to kick up all this stank and chaos. And I can assure you that right now, he's sitting down, can barely breathe, chest hurting, because it does not matter what you think. I refuse to allow Mike to project his evil to anybody except for my enemies. You know, he can project all that evil that he tries to project. Did you hear how he was screaming and hollering, upset? He's trying to conjure up this energy, and literally he's sitting back right now, can barely breathe. It's so funny to me because I'm gonna be honest with you, after everything Mike has done to me, I just really I think he's dead is better in his case. I'm sorry, dead is better, especially somebody that is willing to lie like that, like especially about something like that. Now, I wanted to not only talk to Brandy, but also just everybody else. He's claiming, based upon that video, no, I didn't have sex with Tiffany. There was no sex that was mentioned in that video except for sex that Tiffany had with another person. So I was not, and neither was my baby daddy. I'm getting ready to fully exonerate my baby daddy. Um, asked us to pick her up. Nobody trafficked Tiffany. Nobody trafficked her. His cousin, that was around the same age as Tiffany, asked us to pick up his girlfriend and bring her down to his house. I guess he must have paid Aaron or something because Aaron gave me gas money to take her down there and drop her off. And me and Aaron both left. But I did see what was going on, and that was between her and Ivory. She was with Ivory for a couple of years until she met her baby daddy, Brandon. That was the dynamic of their relationship, apparently. She slept with his brothers, too. That was the dynamic of their relationship. Me and Aaron dropped her off, got in the car, and left. There was no crime that was being committed at all. Nobody raped her. No, literally, nobody raped her. And I found out that Tiffany was born in 82. She was born in 82, so that would make me 6 years older than her. That doesn't mean anything. The point is that I never touched Tiffany, didn't even see Tiffany. I was never around Tiffany until after she was grown when we ran into each other. Otherwise, I was not even around her. So, but I'm going to warn you, Brandy, Mike is not a stand up guy. Mike has dropped revenge porn on me over 300 times. Mike has tried to use said revenge porn to control me. He has actually tried to use revenge porn as a bargaining tool. He's actually, what do they call that? When somebody, basically, he has used his revenge porn tapes to say, hey, if you don't sleep with me, I'm gonna drop your revenge porn. If you don't do this, I'm gonna drop your revenge porn. I told him to get, I said, I don't give a fuck. I said, go ahead, do it, do it, do it. Y'all know how I am. I double dare you. I triple dare you to do some shit like that. And he did it. So what was that supposed to do? What was that supposed to do? And what I wanted to tell y'all was that Tiffany got killed because of that sector. Literally, that sector ruined Tiffany's life. Literally ruined her mind. I don't know what the fuck they did to that girl. She was not the same person. And being that me and Tiffany had fell out anyway, what was I supposed to look after her as a grown woman? But I can promise you that after years and years and years of allowing them to use her name, because at any time Tiffany could have made an announcement and said, and actually it's happened several times to where me and Tiffany throughout the years were on panels. And of course I would ask her about it. Why you think that was the first thing I said to Kat? Why don't you tell the truth? You're lying on me. And Tiffany has even admitted it several times, but then they go back and then they try to, but it's just the point that Tiffany should have broke free of those people. I honestly believe that they got her killed. And the way that they did it is just because those people have bad juju. Mike is cursed. All those people are cursed. I was not shocked that she, and Mike probably going to die in a similar way. You do evil shit like that, especially when people did right by you. Tiffany was treated with the utmost respect. She was a friend of mine for years. Nobody ever mistreated Tiffany. In fact, I've almost been ran. Oh, me and her were almost ran off the road by her baby daddy. I went through a lot of shit for Tiffany standing up for her. This is real life. Real life that Mike was never present for. He's just an opportunist. He thinks that he's using it as leverage over me. And then also he's trying to get vengeance. Also, another thing, he's trying to take out on me, because literally, according to what that sector says, Ralph and Rio was cooking with grease. Cooked the shit out of Mike last night. Reason why Mike is upset is because Mike has never accomplished anything. He has never worked for anything in his life, worrying the hell out of people that work every damn day. It ain't our fault he's a loser. It ain't our fault that nobody wants him. Literally, nobody wants Mike, not even Miyoko. I suspect that Miyoko is a family member. Mike is a fraud. Now, I will go into detail on how literally, first of all, I'm going to tell you something. I can't afford a high powered lawyer. If I had that kind of money to pay a lawyer, I'm going to be using that money for my family and my kids. Okay. So I can't afford that. Whatever money I have is spent on my kids and me getting my own place. Okay. However, there is a such thing as legal aid. What Mike has been doing constitutes as fraud. It's considered fraud, right? We can claim that it's slander, but his own video, being that I have the hyperlink, See, I save all the hyperlinks, even though he's going to take it down. I have the hyperlink. That's considered to be fraud. Where in that video did I ever mention having sex with Tiffany that night that I met her? Nowhere. Nowhere. So basically, he's playing this video, but at the same time, he's spinning his own narrative. That is considered to be fraud. I've spoken with an attorney about this. For years, Mike used that story and that lie to try to justify calling CPS. It's all on record, not just in Georgia, but in Missouri, of where they've called CPS. That's considered to be fraud. That's where the criminal case comes in. It's not just slander, it's fraud. Like I was saying earlier, Mike has ruined people's lives, all except for mine. Yeah, I've had to. Okay, so yeah, I did end up having problems with my landlord in Georgia. Go figure. Who the fuck doesn't have problems with landlords in Georgia? Who the fuck doesn't? The courts are so goddamn racist too. That it's very difficult for black people, especially women who are more marginalized in Georgia, which is why I got the hell out of there. Okay. Um, Me staying with my uncle, I don't know why Mike keeps trying to make me feel bad for that. Literally, his uncle has been supporting him financially. I've literally lived with my uncle for a few months in my home, in my grandmother's home that I love and adore. I love and adore this house. I grew up in this house. This has been an amazing experience for me to be able to come back home and get away from all that bullshit and stay at the house that I grew up with my grandmother, surrounded by all of her energy, her memories. It has been nothing but a healing experience for me. So I don't know why he keeps saying that. Plus, I know how to be appreciative. Like, I'm going to be sitting here miserable. I don't want to live here. I want my own place. Only somebody that has never worked for nothing. Mike has never worked for nothing. Y'all do realize that Mike went to prison for robbing somebody and he has had no job history since. Never done anything with his life. Never has worked. Never has done anything. He probably has lost his job too. He's upset and angry about something. Something ain't going right in his life. He's very, very, very upset. And what does he do? What does he do? Let me tell y'all something. When I was being evicted, remember, because the trolls were stalking me. Do y'all remember? Did y'all see me online? Was I ever online? I told y'all about the situation with the landlord, but did I go live? No, I didn't. I called my friend. My friend came over. We went and we got the U-Haul, moved my stuff in storage, and got us set up at a hotel at an extended stay. Well, it was a hotel at first. The next day we went to an extended stay. The only reason why Mike helped me is because he wanted to know exactly where I was at. That's the only reason why he helped, because he wants to know where I'm at all times. He's a crazy person. Okay. Did I go live? Did I come to YouTube? No, I did not. I handled my business. And then not only that, Mike got upset because I was still running my business and had the money to pay my own rent because my clients were still paying me the whole time. Only reason why I didn't come back to Kansas City in 2024 is because I was like, I just wasn't ready to make the trip. I was riddled with anxiety. And I worked on myself and got over that. And that's, you know what I'm saying? And he still tried to keep me there. Looked like he done ruined Miyoko's life too. Look how big she is. He's trying to claim that photograph is photoshopped. It's not. That's not a Photoshop. She done blew up too because he's evil. He's evil. He's not a good person. He's not. He isn't. He's ruined more lives with his shenanigans. It's absolutely ridiculous. Oh, yeah. And another thing, Tiffany was slutting around because I did something to her. No, absolutely not true. There would be so many times I would sit down and I would talk to Tiffany and I would explain to her why she should respect her body. I was literally like the closest thing to a mother that Tiffany ever had. Guess what Kat was doing? Driving her down to Bum Dot's house so that she could have sex with Bum Dot. I was always the sensible one. I would tell Tiffany, "No, don't do that." You know how many times I have stopped Tiffany from having bukkake orgies? You know how many times I've done that for her and took her home? I said she when she became grown, Tiffany would be drunk and she'd be ready to have sex with several men at the same time. And I was like, no, I'd be like, no, she's drunk. I'm taking her home. So that's a lie. Tiffany was treated well. I treated her better than she treated her goddamn self. And then the next day, Tiffany would call me and be like, "What happened last night?" I'd be like, "Tiffany, you was doing this, this, and that. And I took you home." And she'd be like, "Oh my God, thank you." She'd be like, "What was I getting ready to do?" Because she would get drunk and black out. That has happened on several occasions. Several. So I don't encourage whorish behavior. What is he talking about? No. Why would I want to hang around somebody like that with that kind of reputation anyway? And at the time, I really cared about Tiffany, thought she was my friend, and I looked out for her. So he's totally perverting the story to fit his desperate narrative. Now, judging by the way he was yelling and screaming, apparently something is going on in his life. Apparently, something ain't right. He ain't got some bad news or something. He becomes unhinged like that every now and then. Mike has been doing that. He was screaming and yelling, and it was almost the same energy that he had that morning that uh, when we were still in Georgia, and he came up to that extended stay on Bay Circle and called in a fake fire to the extended stay. He called in a fake fire, walked through the hallway so he could hear my voice talking to him. And that's how he knew our exact location. Little did he know that when he called CPS, that was our ticket back home when he did that. And trust me, all of those people are on my protected list. The cops that came by, they said, "We know the history. We know exactly what's going on with this guy. And we're here to help you." And they did really help us. So basically, he was doing something to try to hurt us, but it ended up actually helping us get back home where we belong. Because, I wasn't scheduled to get paid from my client for another 8 days. You know what I'm saying? But I needed that clarity because he was doing so much all the time. He was doing so much all the time to where when you're going through something like that, it's very difficult to find the clarity. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, I would have been able to pay my own 500. The tickets were only $500. So that day that he came by though, he forced me to come outside. I knew he wasn't gonna kill me. He can't kill me, right? So he forced me to come outside. He was yelling, screaming, I needed to see you. I missed you. And literally he had not brushed his teeth. This dude that he sounded the same way. He began to kiss me all over my face. Began to just kiss me all over my face when I got in the car. I need you. I can't lose you. You talking about leaving me. Oh my God. What? And I was sitting there looking at him. And so this maniac who's screaming and hollering, who had just called in a fake fire to the hotel, talking about something's burning, I smell smoke, hadn't brushed his teeth. His breath literally smelled like a cow's ass, is forcing himself up on me. And I'm like, hey. So I asked him, I'm like, run me around to the store so I can get some cigarettes. I was actually getting ready to go to the store. So he ran me around to the store. I had to calm him down. I believe that it might be bipolar disorder. I am not responsible for him. The dude just carries bad energy with him. Okay, supposedly he lives in this mansion and his life is so great. Why can't he just live his life like a normal man and not come online with all this chaos? Because the chaos is within him and it's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would never, I can't deal with nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? And I suspect it's drugs. Literally, I believe part of the reason why he was yelling and screaming is because I believe that he may have smoked a little bit more than some weed today. Okay, just saying. He's on other drugs other than weed. He's actually kind of sideways admitted to me that he dabbles in narcotics, but it was more like a Freudian slip because we were talking about the sector and this was like 3 years ago and I was trying to talk to him. I was like, Mike, you got to stop doing that sector. And you know it. And he's like, yeah, you're right. I need to get off that narcotic. I was like, narcotic. I said, we talking about the sector. I'm not seeing why that sector would be addictive, especially with a lot of the stuff that they do try to create trauma for each other. All of that, to me, if I'm going to be addicted to a situation, it's going to be one of pleasure and ecstasy and bliss. I'm not going to be, yeah, no. I like peace. I like calm. I like serenity. I don't like adrenaline. I'm warning you. I'm warning everybody. Tiffany was murdered because of that sector. I truly believe that if Tiffany had never gotten involved with those people, even if me and Tiffany would have walked away from each other forever and never had been friends again, I believe Tiffany would still be alive to this day. She would still be alive to this day. She would, and then also if me and her would have remained friends, I would have eventually gotten her some help because I had a lot of positive influence over Tiffany. That's a lie for him to claim that I was doing. No, I was nothing but Tiffany's like solace. I was her peace for years. That's a lie for them to say that she would come to me to calm herself down and to ground herself. That's a lie, man. That they're saying all that stuff. If I would have remained friends with Tiffany, she would still be alive. But you know what? The things that she was doing, I felt was harmful to me and what I wanted with my life. So that's why I walked away. And then plus she kept I don't know why she all of a sudden became jealous of my daughters. Only thing I can accredit that to is she was easily influenced. Some people are just easily influenced like that. And you can't be easily influenced by that sector. I ain't never been easily influenced by them people. I've been telling all of them for the longest that this is some bullshit, especially Mike and Bum Dot, because they crash out totally for that sector. And there's literally no money involved. There's like, I mean, they was just talking about how some dude got killed over French fries. You know what I'm saying? These just to me when they get to crashing out like that they're literally dying for nothing. That go figure. Go figure. It's not just black people, it's a lot of people that just die for nothing just because they can't keep themselves calm. But whatever it is that Mike is going through, it's not going to be good for him because he does not care. He's very self-destructive. That's one thing that I've realized about him. And that's why I had to walk away from him, because he began to tear down and destroy my life. Yes, he did. Is that something for him to be proud of? No. You're a grown ass man. That's not nothing to be proud of. But people are encouraging him and he feels accepted when he does stuff like that. But you should not be proud of that as a man, that you can tear down and destroy somebody. So I deserve like everything I did for him. Think about it. The same way I was willing to help Brandy out. The only difference is that Mike would pay me for certain stuff. Mike would give me money because I would do healings and stuff for him. And I would also do work on that sector for him to help him. He would pay me because he knew that I was helping him. He no longer has access to that. So he can run around here talking about fake this, fake that. But he sure didn't have no problem contacting me, asking my spirits to help him get that 7-bedroom house, asking me for healing, telling me that his blood pressure is way too high, asking me to do work on his family members that were accusing him of killing his mother. Mm-hmm. Or just wanting to be around me to get some kind of peace. Mike told me, he said, if you leave Georgia, I'm going to die. Is basically what he told me when I first told him I was leaving. And you know what I told him? I said, well, first of all, you're not going to die. At the time we were still kind of cool. I said, well, first of all, you're not going to die. But if you tell yourself that you're going to die, then that's what's going to happen. I can promise you that everything that Mike is doing is going to bring him nothing but destruction, because I am 1,000,000% innocent. And he knows it. He knows that he made it up. He don't even believe what he's saying. He's just saying it because he wants vengeance. He's upset because he knows that I have moved on. He's upset because he doesn't, I'm thinking that maybe he doesn't have anybody. He doesn't need anybody except for a shrink. He right now, Mike could be 5150 right now, the way he was yelling and screaming. He should be 5150. I can't imagine nobody being in that house with him right now. He needs to be looked after at a mental institution, and it's only going to get worse because I am forcing him to deal with his own shit. Ain't nothing them trolls can do to help him. Ain't nothing that he's gonna either get some help, go to jail, or unalive himself. End of story. Because he's not gonna hurt anybody else. Also, another thing, what a lot of black people should be concerned about: how can y'all sit there? Like, I don't like Talia either. I don't. Talia has gotten on my damn nerves so bad and did all kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't hate Talia. I'm not gonna like, if Talia would stop attacking me, then she'll be cool. Think about what type of person it takes for him to go live and tell Talia that even though he dropped revenge porn on her, nobody's going to care about the sex crimes committed against a black bitch. That's what he told her. How can you stand behind that? That's awful. So now all of a sudden he's got a moral hair growing out of his head. No, he doesn't. He literally committed a sex like look at the way he spoke to Talia. And we all know that she'll more than likely deal with him again. I won't ever deal with him again. I felt like I had to do it because I was still in Georgia and I had no choice because this dude was stalking me and I was on foot. I didn't have a car or access to a car. So, now I have access to a car, but I didn't have a car at the time. So I was basically at his mercy when I was in Georgia. How can you say that? That's so evil. So you feel as a black man that you can just sexually abuse a black woman and nobody's going to care about her pain? That's literally the type of person that we're dealing with here. And we all know it. And he's never going to get a relief or a break from that. I don't like Talia, but you know what? Even I cursed Mike for saying that to her. Because if Talia wants justice, because Mike has been dropping revenge porn on Talia, he has been. How do you think that troll Rude for Eyes knows about the cottage cheese? And it wasn't cottage cheese. She was some kind of boric acid or something. Even though I don't like Talia, I haven't agreed with the things that Mike has done to her. I haven't agreed with that. Then again, Talia likes that sector, but I don't think that anybody should have to be sexually assaulted. Mike has sent me videos of Talia, and I deleted them immediately. I was like, hey, I don't want no parts of that. And I don't want to look at no woman naked either. He was sending me videos of Talia playing with herself. And I'm like, why are you sending this to me? Like, I don't want to see. It's weird. I've had 5 serious boyfriends in my life, and I can assure you that none of them have ever sent me any videos of another woman. It's weird. Like, I don't even know what he really feels that way though. And that's why he tries to stick by white supremacy. Like, Mike also feels as though he has to damn near turn him because Mike loves black women. He loves to fuck black women. He loves to sleep with black women. Mike is not really into white women. But let me tell you something about Mike. He's so cursed and socially awkward that he's trying to bring back slavery so a black woman will be forced to have sex with him. And it doesn't matter how many live shows he does or what he says or what he thinks he's doing. It ain't gonna never happen. We can all people can dislike Talia, but at the end of the day, he'll never have anything and he'll never get away with it ever. That is horrible and it is not good for the black community. It's very triggering to black people, especially considering the black history, especially considering what black people went through in this country, especially black women. It's disgusting. And I don't need an entire sector. I got the gods in spirit. But I do have supporters. I have friends in real life, actually. So, he thinks that if he comes in social media, he's and do stuff like this, he's stopping me from having friends. Well, I have friends in real life that have been knowing me my whole life. So, I'm not worried about what he's doing, but I'm just warning you. Plus, also, he's very parasitic. He's definitely a psychic vampire. And he'll try to take all your peace. He can't take nobody's peace over here, but he'll try. He will try. And for some reason, he thinks that phone calls is going to bother somebody. Like, I'm not a weak minded person. He thinks that these robo dial calls that he sent to my phone is going to bother me. Because I just got a call 25 minutes ago. He done put my number in some kind of scamocious stalker, some kind of stalking scamocious shit. Camera recording. He done put not my cell phone number. Mike does not have my cell phone number. I actually have a cell phone. And he done put my number in some kind of stalker shit. You know what I'm saying? And I can show the missed calls. They're all 770 numbers because he wants to let me know it's coming from him. You know. Hey, I will destroy Mike. I will destroy him. Okay. I will drop him. Okay. Just to let y'all know. So it is what it is. I don't give a damn about no social media. I'm talking about in real life. He done pulled stunts like this before. And then next thing you know, he calling me from the hospital. I'm in the hospital. I don't feel good. Yeah. Yeah, you need to be in a Mike needs to be medicated. Not only does Mike need to see a medical doctor today, but he also needs to be medicated. And I don't feel that way. I'm about to make a batch of cinnamon rolls and with some milk. Okay. Look, we all live in real life over here while Mike is over there in a tissy fit. He's in a frenzy. And you know what I'm saying? And don't let him use you. I don't see why anybody would even like. We've all seen the behavior. He has no respect for women, especially black women, obviously because he's mad at his mama. Uh, he literally has wished death on his own mother. You know what I'm saying? And it's based upon their history. And then plus he's mad because I'm telling the truth. There's been a lot of people. There's this one video with this white guy talking about how his Jehovah Witness mother tortured and abused him. And but is that dude doing that to people? No, Mike needs to get help. Okay, I know mental illness is taboo in the black community, but come on, clearly there's a problem, and he knows that I'm telling the truth about his mother. His mother has done something to him. When I was still talking to him, I said, Mike, I said, you got to get some help to deal with your mother issues. I forgive my mother. Forgiveness ain't got nothing to do with it. You can forgive her all day and night, but you still need to work through whatever the issues are, which I believe it was probably just violence. I believe that his mama probably beat the shit out of him a lot and was verbally abusive. How can we tell? Because look at how verbally abusive he is. And then I suspect other family dysfunctions as well that I'm not going to speak on. Point is that it's not my problem. It ain't YouTube's problem. It ain't never been nobody's problem. The dude just needs to go. Well, he's got a criminal charge coming up. I will be filing fraud charges against him. And I can prove it. Okay. And probably a couple of others that I can prove fraud, have committed fraud. Okay. The fact that he's utilizing that video, which where in that video I don't say anything about that because that's not what happened. He's committing fraud. Anyway, in other news, I'm getting ready to go and chill out and relax and look at social media. Lucy Eads is pregnant again, and I know she got to be at least 50 by now. So that to me, that's more interesting. The fact that Lucy is pregnant again. Okay, that's more interesting to me. But I wanted to come on here and warn you that dude ain't nothing but bad news. The moment that dude came into my life, I began to lose money. What does that tell you? When and you know what? Good things started happening for him because I came into his life. I remember the first night I met him, his shoes was raggedy. Literally, his shoes were falling apart on the bottom. You know how the bum always talks about the Shuttleworths? The Shuttleworths was talking. He didn't start gaining anything until he met me. But then my life went down. I don't understand how I don't know. I bring good things to people's lives. You know, he don't bring nothing but bad. He brings bad things to people's lives. He does. It's sad. I guess he thinks that's cute. He wants to allow himself to be a curse in people's life, but he can't be a curse in your life unless you let him. That's why I always speak truth. But we're not going to do this all the time. We are. I have an attorney through legal aid that has informed me that what he's doing it constitutes fraud, and we will be pursuing it. Especially being that he's used that lie uh to file false CPS reports against me and to CPS harass me and to get that sector to attack me. In the meantime, I'm enjoying life and moving forward. None of this bothers me. Trust me, he's the one that's bothered. So, anywho, I'll see y'all later. That's pretty much what I gotta say. My phone need to be charged. It's only on 10% now. I gotta go. Bye.